Chapter 1 of Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers is titled The Matthew Effect and explores the idea that success is not solely based on individual talent or effort but also on external factors such as opportunity, cultural legacy, and sheer luck. The chapter takes its title from a biblical verse, specifically Matthew 25:29, which states, "For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath." Gladwell uses this verse to illustrate the idea that those who start with advantages tend to gain more advantages, while those who start with disadvantages tend to fall further behind. Gladwell examines the phenomenon through a variety of lenses, including education, sports, and technology. One of the key examples he uses is the story of Canadian hockey players. Gladwell notes that a disproportionate number of professional hockey players are born in the first few months of the year, with January being the most common birth month. He attributes this trend to the cutoff date for youth hockey leagues, which is January 1st. As a result, children born in January have a slight advantage in terms of physical development and skill level compared to those born later in the year. This small advantage early on can compound over time, leading to more opportunities for practice, better coaching, and ultimately, a greater chance of making it to the professional level. Another example Gladwell uses is the story of how Bill Gates, one of the world's richest men and co-founder of Microsoft, became successful. Gladwell notes that Gates had access to a computer at a time when they were still rare and expensive, allowing him to gain an advantage in programming skills and knowledge that would be invaluable in the future. Gladwell argues that Gates' success was not solely due to his individual talent or effort but also due to external factors, such as the time period in which he was born and the opportunities he had to access technology. Gladwell also examines the impact of culture on success, specifically through the lens of the culture of honor in the American South. He notes that in this culture, there is a strong emphasis on personal reputation and a willingness to use violence to defend it. This cultural legacy can have an impact on factors such as crime rates, as individuals from the culture of honor are more likely to engage in violent behavior. However, Gladwell notes that this same cultural legacy can also lead to success in certain fields, such as law and politics, where reputation and the ability to defend oneself are highly valued. Overall, Gladwell's chapter highlights the importance of considering external factors when examining success and argues that individual talent and effort are not the only factors at play. By examining a range of examples, from sports to technology to culture, Gladwell shows how small advantages early on can compound over time and lead to significant differences in outcomes. Chapter 2 of Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers is titled The 10,000-Hour Rule and explores the idea that becoming an expert in a particular field requires a minimum of 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. Gladwell argues that success is not simply a matter of innate talent, but also a function of opportunity and hard work. To illustrate this point, Gladwell uses the examples of the Beatles and Bill Gates. He notes that the Beatles played over 1,200 concerts in Hamburg, Germany in the early 1960s, often performing for hours on end. This gave them an opportunity to develop their musical skills and stage presence, ultimately leading to their eventual success. Similarly, Bill Gates had access to a computer at a time when they were still rare and expensive, allowing him to spend countless hours programming and developing his skills. Gladwell also examines the research of psychologist Anders Ericsson, who has studied the development of expertise in various fields. Ericsson found that elite musicians, chess players, and athletes all had one thing in common: they had spent at least 10,000 hours practicing their craft. This deliberate practice involves focusing on specific aspects of one's performance and continually working to improve them. Gladwell notes that the 10,000-hour rule is not a hard and fast number, but rather a general guideline. Some individuals may require more or less practice to reach a high level of expertise, depending on a variety of factors such as natural ability and access to resources. Nevertheless, the idea that success is largely the result of hard work and deliberate practice, rather than innate talent, is a key takeaway from the chapter. Gladwell also explores the role of culture and opportunity in the development of expertise. He notes that access to resources, such as music lessons or specialized coaching, can give individuals an advantage in developing their skills. Additionally, cultural values and norms can also influence the amount of time and effort individuals devote to their chosen field. For example, he notes that in certain cultures, such as Japan and Korea, there is a strong emphasis on hard work and perseverance, which can contribute to the development of expertise. Overall, Chapter 2 of Outliers highlights the importance of hard work and deliberate practice in achieving success. While natural ability and talent are certainly important factors, they are not the only ones. Gladwell argues that success is largely a matter of opportunity and effort, and that individuals who are willing to put in the time and work can achieve great things. Chapter 3 of Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers is titled The Trouble with Geniuses and explores the idea that intelligence and talent are not always the best predictors of success. Gladwell argues that other factors, such as creativity, practical intelligence, and social skills, can be just as important in determining an individual's ability to achieve great things. To illustrate this point, Gladwell uses the example of Chris Langan, a man with an IQ of 195, which is higher than that of Albert Einstein. Despite his exceptional intelligence, Langan struggled to achieve success due to a variety of external factors, including a difficult upbringing and a lack of social skills. Gladwell argues that Langan's story highlights the limitations of relying solely on intelligence as a predictor of success. Gladwell also examines the research of psychologist Louis Terman, who studied a group of intellectually gifted children over the course of several decades. Terman found that while many of these children went on to achieve great things, others did not, despite their exceptional intelligence. Gladwell notes that the children who were most successful tended to have a combination of intelligence, practical intelligence, and social skills. Gladwell also explores the idea of practical intelligence, which he defines as the ability to apply knowledge and skills in real-world situations. He notes that individuals with high levels of practical intelligence may not excel on traditional measures of intelligence, such as standardized tests, but are nonetheless able to achieve great success in their chosen fields. Gladwell also examines the role of culture and upbringing in the development of practical intelligence and social skills. He notes that individuals who come from backgrounds that place a high value on these skills, such as working-class families, may be more likely to develop them, while those from more privileged backgrounds may not. Overall, Chapter 3 of Outliers challenges the idea that intelligence and talent are the sole predictors of success. Gladwell argues that other factors, such as creativity, practical intelligence, and social skills, can be just as important in determining an individual's ability to achieve great things. He also highlights the role of culture and upbringing in the development of these skills, suggesting that individuals who come from backgrounds that place a high value on them may be more likely to succeed. Chapter 4 of Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell is titled The Trouble with Geniuses, Part 2, and continues the exploration of intelligence and its relationship with success. In this chapter, Gladwell argues that success is not just about being smart or talented, but also about being in the right place at the right time and having access to the right opportunities. To illustrate this point, Gladwell tells the story of Christopher Langan again, whom he introduced in the previous chapter. Langan, with an IQ of 195, was a genius and could have potentially achieved great things. However, he grew up in a poor family and was forced to drop out of college due to financial difficulties. Without the opportunity to continue his education, Langan never achieved the success that his intelligence could have potentially led him to. Gladwell then introduces the concept of practical intelligence and the idea that success often comes from a combination of both practical and analytical intelligence. While analytical intelligence is important for solving complex problems, practical intelligence is the ability to adapt to real-world situations and to interact effectively with people. Gladwell suggests that practical intelligence is often undervalued and that it is just as important for success as analytical intelligence. Gladwell then introduces the concept of the Jewish lawyer and how Jewish people have historically been successful in the legal field. Gladwell suggests that this is not solely due to their intelligence but also their cultural legacy. Jewish culture places a strong emphasis on education and achievement, which leads to a higher number of Jewish people in prestigious universities and law firms. This concentration of Jewish people in the legal field creates a network of support and opportunities that contributes to their success. Finally, Gladwell examines the educational system in the United States and how it can be a hindrance to success for some. He argues that the school system is designed for children from affluent backgrounds, who are able to attend better schools and receive better educations. Children from poorer backgrounds, who may be just as intelligent but lack the resources and opportunities, are not given the same chances to succeed. Gladwell suggests that this system creates an unfair advantage for some and holds others back. Overall, Chapter 4 of Outliers continues the exploration of intelligence and success, arguing that being smart or talented is not enough to guarantee success. Gladwell suggests that success also comes from being in the right place at the right time and having access to the right opportunities. Practical intelligence and cultural legacy are also important factors that contribute to success. Additionally, Gladwell suggests that the educational system in the United States can be a hindrance to success for those from less affluent